Let's talk about Canomexin and how it changes something called small conductance calcium-activated potassium channels. We'll see how this affects how cells get excited, how cancer forms, and how it works with other treatments. Canomexin is a protein isolate made up of a bunch of different peptides, some of which have a structure held together by disulfide bridges. This gives them a rigid shape and a specific attraction to a type of ion channel that's really important for controlling what cells do, called calcium-activated potassium channels with small conductance. These potassium channels are activated by a rise in calcium levels inside the cell and are involved in controlling how excitable neurons are, how muscles contract, and the balance of ions in different tissues. Small calcium-activated potassium channels let potassium ions flow out of the cell in a controlled way. This stabilizes the cell's membrane potential and keeps the cell from being too active, which is really important for keeping the cell's electrochemical balance. These channels help control how long electrical signals last in your brain cells and how your muscles work together. A special helper called Canomexin can change how these channels work in neurons. This affects how often the neurons send signals. It also affects how smoothly your muscles tighten and relax, both the ones you control and the ones you don't. Now let's talk about how these calcium-activated potassium channels play a role in tumors and cancer treatment. This is really important for figuring out new ways to fight cancer. A really important part of how this works is its connection to how tumors grow. In lots of different cancers, the way these channels work changes. This affects how the tumor cells grow, move, and avoid dying. Studies show that cancer cells can use these channels to control their size, help them move and spread, and avoid dying when they're supposed to. Canomexin can mess with these processes by changing how the small calcium-activated potassium channels work. This disrupts how the tumor cells survive. In aggressive cancers like brain tumors called glioblastomas, melanomas, or some types of breast cancer, these channels are made in large amounts, making it easier for the cancer cells to adapt and resist common treatments. Canomexin can affect these processes by changing how calcium-activated potassium channels work. First, it can change the electrical balance of tumor cells, slowing down their growth and spread. Second, it can affect how tumor cells avoid natural cell death, bringing back their normal self-destruct process. Canomexin has shown promise in working together with usual cancer treatments and immunotherapy. This teamwork could make treatments work even better, giving us a stronger way to fight cancer. A really important thing about Canomexin is how well it works with regular cancer treatments. New studies show that adjusting tiny calcium-activated potassium channels can make tumor cells more responsive to chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Canomexin, by affecting the electrical balance and the balance of charged particles, can help chemotherapy drugs get into and work better inside cancer cells. Plus, changing the membrane's electrical charge by blocking or activating these channels can boost the cell-damaging stress caused by radiation, making the treatment even stronger against cancer cells. Also, Canomexin can be really helpful in making immunotherapy work better. Cancer cells can create a protected area where the immune system can't work well. They do this in a few ways, including controlling how ion channels work. Canomexin's role isn't just limited to the area around the tumor. It could also be useful in other areas of medicine, not just cancer treatment. By restoring a healthy electrical balance in cells and affecting cell signals that help immune cells and the tumor talk to each other, Canomexin can help make immune checkpoint inhibitors and adoptive cell therapies work better. Also, tiny doorways on cells called small conductance calcium-activated potassium channels are super important for how cancer cells talk to their surroundings. Cancer cells use chemical signals and electrical changes to move and spread. Changing how these tiny doorways work can affect how cancer cells talk to each other, which directly affects how the tumor grows and how well it responds to treatment. Besides its uses in cancer treatment, Canomexin is also important in neurology and muscle physiology. Adjusting these small calcium-activated potassium channels can help brain function by improving how connections in the brain change, making nerve signals travel better and strengthening how memories are stored. These channels also help keep muscles working smoothly, making sure they can tighten and relax when they need to. This is really important for controlling how our muscles move. So Canomexin gives us a helpful new way to look at how small calcium-activated potassium channels work in our cells. It could be useful in many areas like brain science, cancer treatment, and how muscles work. Learning more about how these special proteins affect the electrical balance in our cells could help us find new ways to make treatments better. It could even help us improve our health with the right nutrition and supplements.